Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Robin. This is an independently made game, and it's actually rather interesting. It touches on the subject of chronic fatigue syndrome and the very unique struggles that someone dealing with that has to go through on a daily basis. Just kind of looking at the about here, this game is based on the Spoon Theory by Christine Miserandino. I apologize if I mispronounced that. If you have any related health concerns, please see a doctor. The Spoon Theory, just to briefly touch on it, is basically the idea that you only have so many actions that you can take in a day when you deal with some sort of chronic illness or something that affects your energy levels, like chronic fatigue syndrome. Or something that causes you pain the more you do in a day. You have a select number of spoons to use. An able-bodied person or a well person is able to pull however spoons they need, and if they run out of spoons, they can go to another table and grab it. But for someone with chronic illness, they're given, say, 3 spoons a day to use for their daily purposes. And once they use it, it's gone, it's done, and once you're out, you can't just grab new ones. Anyway, credits for this, Isabella Della Torre, Jose Fernando Gracia, Papi de Rad, and Annalise Bevan. Just so you can check these out. Interesting music. So I'm going to start this game, and I'll let the intro actually kind of set the tone for things here. So here we have our protagonist speaking with a doctor. So all of your blood tests have come back. You really couldn't find anything? But why do I feel so tired all the time? That's always a very good question. At least we have eliminated what it could be, I suppose. So this is actually a very common thing, especially with chronic fatigue syndrome, is that it is incredibly hard to diagnose because you don't always know what's actually causing a drag on your fatigue. Maybe it's all in my head. Or maybe I'm just lazy. Because it can be really hard to tell. Feeling defeated, Robin decides to spend a long weekend at home to try and recover some energy. This is her weekend. So you have 3 days to try and recover some energy for the work week ahead. So, you can choose all sorts of options here. You can water the plants, you can pick up your clothes, you can read a book, you can feed the bird, you can browse the internet, you can do some work, or you can take a shower. Well, it seems to me that the obvious thing that you'd want to do is make sure, especially if you've got limited time to work on things, that you're going to want to make something to eat. Just doing that one action has taken a chunk of energy away. You can see this in the corner here. And of course, we don't want dishes to be just kind of, hanging out all dirty, right? Oh, wow. Well, she's losing a lot of energy very quickly. She should probably feed her pet bird. I mean, the bird doesn't deserve to go without, food just because she's not feeling a whole lot of energy, but gosh, she's losing a lot of energy quickly. And, well, self-care, take a shower for yourself. And it's already really late in the day, it looks like. It's already pretty dark. And her energy after just these few things is almost completely gone. And now, look at all of these options that are suddenly now gone. She is too tired for that. She can't do everything that she wanted to do. The only thing that she can do is go to bed. You looked over your unwatered plants. You shouldn't forget to tend to them this weekend. You sighed. It's been a while since you did some fun navigating on social media. Your dirty clothes are piling up. Good things no one's visiting. You glance into your backlog of books. Someday you'll get around to reading them. You felt very guilty. You didn't do any work on your novel. You woke up feeling even more exhausted than usual. And already you can see that the fatigue is draining on her, and you see that she already starts off with a chunk of energy just completely gone. Well, again, we can't really neglect eating. But oh my gosh, one action and she's already more than halfway done with her day. Let's skip the washing dishes for now. I mean, maybe browse the internet. Maybe that'll help boost her energy a little bit more. Maybe that'll help her feel better? Who knows? Well, and again, we probably should not neglect the poor bird. But again, look at the number of things that, you know, she meant to get done in that day, and that just, she couldn't do it. I literally cannot select these things. The only thing she can do now is go to bed. It's 2 days into her weekend, and almost nothing has been accomplished. You looked over your unwatered plants. You shouldn't forget to tend to them this weekend. The foul smell of unwashed dishes kept you awake. You'll have to do them soon. You feel filthy. You were too tired to shower, and it feels gross. Your dirty clothes are piling up. Good thing no one's visiting. You glance on your backlog of books. Someday you'll get around to reading them. It was a tiring day still. But at least we're not starting off with a... Oh, well, she immediately started with washing the dishes. But at least I didn't start off with some sort of deficit of energy, so there's that. Well, let's start off with a shower. That seems like a very smart way to start things off, all things considered. And we have been neglecting the plants all weekend. That seems like something we should take care of. So many things that she wants to do, but she can't do. Alright, and probably should not neglect eating anything. I'm kind of glad that washing the dishes did not actually taking... Wow, that was a sentence that didn't work. Maybe read a book? That's an interesting angle to read a book there, Robin. And I'm too tired for that. Too tired for any of these things. Oh dear. And she's out of energy for the day. She's just doing those things. Wiped her out. Robin chirps in disdain at you. You didn't tend to her. She sounds upset. The foul smell of unwashed dishes kept you awake. You'll have to do them soon. You sighed. It's been a while since you did some fun navigating on social media. Your dirty clothes are piling up. You felt very guilty you didn't do any work on your novel, and just like that, the weekend's over. Robin has managed to get through the weekend without too much strain and is happy with her productivity. She has hope for the week of work ahead. She might just be able to manage. Okay. Now I'm going to be honest, the first time I played this game, that was actually the most optimistic that I've actually seen her get. I tried a different method of going through each day, and it ended up just with a very negative. Let me see if I can emulate some of that, see if I choose a couple of different things. So we've already seen this. Oh, yes. I was saying before that one of the struggles when it comes to something like this is because it is really hard to actually diagnose. You have to go through a whole rigmarole when it comes to actually getting diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. So you may not even know necessarily what is medically wrong and causing you to be constantly tired. Well, let's see. Maybe we can... Well, we do want to focus on taking care of yourself. Eating is a wise idea. But yeah, it may not necessarily be immediately diagnosed what you're... Well, let's see. Let's work on the novel a little bit. So, you may not even know. It can be any number of things that can actually end up triggering such an immediate energy drain. And as a result, you know, there's doctors who won't necessarily know how to treat it. Let's try taking a shower. Anyway. And the thing is, one of the reasons why I wanted to play this game, outside of it being an interesting subject matter to show you just how quickly you just do not have the choice to do anything, is something that I deal with on a daily basis. So a lot of these we've read before. You woke up feeling more exhausted than usual. And, yeah. So I started off feeling even more exhausted. And it's interesting, I think that if you end up doing too much on that first day, you end up with already a deficit on your second day. So let's see what happens, again, if I continue doing too much work for myself, so to speak, or too much work for Robin to be able to reasonably accomplish in a day. Anyway, this is something that I struggle with myself, and it's one of the reasons why I struggle with getting Let's Play videos recorded for this channel. Believe me, it's a struggle, and I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. And at the end of doing just even a handful of things each day, I end up feeling exactly like this, like my energy has just been utterly depleted. And the only thing that I can do is try to spend all my time in recovery. So yeah, it was a tiring day still. But at least I managed, I guess, to preserve some energy. Well, maybe let's skip eating and taking care of myself. We didn't water the plants or do anything along those lines. Let's try and make this as productive as possible. Maybe do some work. Okay, feed the bird. And this whole weekend is taking a toll on her already. So, I know it always sounds like making excuses. I'm too tired for any of that. The only thing you can do is go to bed. And just like that, the weekend's over. Robin is feeling down. She spent the whole week on chores and boring things, and she still feels tired after everything. However, she is well prepared for the coming week of work. That's a little different than I got before, too. Interesting. Anyway. The thing is that, you know, you can want to do all of these things, and you can know exactly what has to get done, but you just run out so fast. You try to do more. You try to concentrate on the things that need to get done, and you just can't. It's like trying to turn the key in the engine of your car and only to find out that the engine is not turning. It's not turning on. You're not able to go. You've got no fuel for it, and you're just barely holding on. And then you end up looking at all of the things and you feel guilty for it. You feel guilty for the fact that you can't do more. That you try to do all of the things that you can to care for yourself and to recover, and it still takes energy from you. You'd have a lazy day for yourself, or you take care of the things that need to get taken care of as best you can. But you have to omit something, and you have to decide, what corner do I cut today? Do I skip taking the shower? Do I skip watering the plants? Do I skip working on the things that I want to do? Do I skip eating? You can't skip going to bed. So, I think it's just the second day you automatically start off with a deficit. Okay. So I'm trying to see what I can do to have an easy sort of weekend. Doing the things that she enjoys doing, maybe. And, taking it as easy as you can. I can't neglect the bird. That's not fair to the bird. The bird did not choose to be a bird. And just like that, her day is over. It's a nightmare. It was a tiring day no matter what. Although exhausted, you had to make a sandwich in the night. I'm starting off today with a deficit. Interesting. And I'm even trying to do have this be, you know, an easy weekend for her, even. But as easy as it is to sit and do a Let's Play video, you know, I still struggle with energy. So just speaking from personal experience, I'm very intimately familiar with the sort of subject this game presents. Anyway, So here I am, making constant excuses for why I'm not updating more often. And just like that, the weekend's over. So she did very little actual self-care. Robin has got through the weekend, but barely. Her plants are dying, she hasn't eaten properly, and the place is a mess. She realizes that she will be paying for her mistakes in the coming week. She dreads going to work the next day. So there are different outcomes depending on the choices that you make, and in some instances you can still feel fairly accomplished in the weekend, and you can still try to do better, but you still don't accomplish everything you want to get done. But it's so frustrating because imagine life with that kind of restriction where your stats are dropping no matter what you do, and you have to sleep after just 3 activities, like in a very common theme with dating sims. Anyway, I do recommend getting this game, and I will be including a link in the description to this video. Try playing through to see if maybe you can do better than I can at this. I mean, picking and choosing what you can do in a day. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this is probably not the most entertaining video, and there's a lot of rambling. I apologize for that. But if it's a struggle for you to deal with stuff on a daily basis, if you have energy issues, if you're not able to get through everything and to do everything in a day that you wanted to do, I can only encourage you to please don't feel guilty about that. If all you can do in a day is get up, look at the world around you, and then have to lie back down again, if that's your life, don't be ashamed of that. Do what you can, do your best, but know that sometimes your best has limitations. It's okay to accept that. When I say do your best, I do mean it. If you feel like you can get up and do something, then do try. Acknowledge how many spoons you have, and see what you can do to maybe stack them up when you can. I believe that every last one of you is living your life the best that you can. And, I know what it means to not have the energy to pursue everything that you want to pursue. But you'll get there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.